Hi everyone, welcome. It's Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's time for Stamping with Denise. Welcome. Here in the U.S., it's a holiday. It's President's Day. Some are off. I was not. I had to work, but I'm glad you took some time out of your day today to come and craft with me. Welcome. While we wait for people to find us, couple housekeeping tips. Remember, I like thumbs up, hearts, exclamations, those kinds of things. If you like what you see, please share my video with your friends and share it in the comments, and you might be chosen to win the project I work on tonight. If you recall, last week I made this great fun fold card. Look at that. And the winner, whoops, I gotta find the name, is Shirley English. Shirley, this card's going out to you. I will message you to get your address so I can get that out to you. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. Please subscribe to my channel, and once you do that, please click the little bell so you get notifications of when I go live. So I think with that, we will get started. I have a card that I like. It reminds me spring's right around the corner because here in Michigan it is very cold and snowy still. So this one makes me a little bit warm and hopeful that spring is right around the corner. So I'm going to change the view and we will get started. Okay, so this card was made, hold on here, using the flowering, let me get that straight, there we go, flowering rain boots stamp set, and the coordinating dies are called rain boots dies. These are both in the January to June mini catalog, and I think they're just really versatile. So I used these items today to make this card. The other thing I used, if you can see on the background, I used our butterflies and flowers layering decorative masks. And Stampin' Up's had masks before and I hadn't used them. This is the one I'm going to use. Let me get a piece of paper here on the card. It's flowers. So I thought I'd give these a try, and I'm really liking them. Here's one that's a kind of a different floral. This one is vines. And then here, there's flowers, and it's layered. I've watched some videos. I have not seen them, or I have not actually made them yet, but I will be doing that. And you put it down one layer with one die, and then you put another layer of a different color with a different die, and it makes some stunning flowers. So I can't wait to practice with that. And then it also has some butterflies with the same thing. So I'm looking forward. Maybe I'll have to do that for another one of my live videos. I'm always looking for ideas for my videos, for my lives. So if there's something you'd like to see, and if I have that product, or you just want to see a technique or something like that, let me know. See what I can do to help. I'm always looking for ideas. So let me set that out of the way. And we're going to get started. And the first thing we're going to do is work with the stencil to do the background. So for this card, it's a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 Pear Pizzazz. It's folded in half for our card base. Just the usual. Okay. Now I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper because we are going to use our stencil right on this. So I've got a piece of painter's tape. I've just put on there lightly to hold things in place. Then I'm going to put my stencil on here. It doesn't really make much difference where. I just kind of want it straight. Then I have some pieces of painter's tape. Again, it's kind of a low tack tape that you can use, you know, to hold things down. And this will help keep the mask from moving. And it's actually taped to the white piece because you don't want to tape it to the green, because then you won't be able to use your blending brush to make your background. So I'm using Pear Pizzazz, and I have my blending brush. And again, I'm going to just, here, let me put this over here. I'm going to pick up some ink off of this. And then remember, kind of before you start, just get a little bit off of there so you don't have big globs. And then just kind of go back and forth. I think my ink pad needs to be re-inked, but I didn't want to do it before I did this, because then I didn't want to have to fight. I'd rather put, you know, multiple layers, lighter layers, and layer them on. And that's the nice thing, you can do that. You could even do different colors. If you had a light piece of cardstock or paper that you were using, you could use, I'm gonna turn this around. You could use different colors and kind of, you know, blend them one into the other. Okay, I'm gonna see what this looks like here. Let me see. This is always a little tricky because you may not get put down exactly. Okay, I'm a little light right up here. So I'm gonna put a little bit right up here. And I don't think it has to be even. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm good with that. You know, it's lighter here and it's darker over there. I think that's okay. Take that off of there. And then you can just use a baby wipe to wipe the ink off of your stencil. So let me set this aside so I don't get ink on stuff. Then remember, this is taped down to this paper, so I want to pull that off gently so I don't rip the cardstock. And there we go. Beautiful. Okay. Put that away, and then if you don't, to clean your blending brush, because this is my one I have labeled for green, you just kind of, you know, keep doing this until the ink is out of it. And like I don't know if I mentioned it, the base is Pear Pizzazz and the ink is Pear Pizzazz, so it's tone on tone. But as you can see here, let me pull it up. Shows up quite nicely. I do have some variation, darker and lighter, but that is absolutely okay with me. So let me put that over to the side, and we are going to start stamping then. We are going to work on our focal point for the front of the card. And so from this stamp set here, we are going to stamp the watering can, and for that I'm using Smoky Slate. What's nice is there's dies for all of these pieces, so no need to fussy cut. Put that right on there. Again, I have my Cush mat under there so that it helps me get a better image. My flowers, my tulips, are in Poppy Parade. Let's see, can I put those on there? Yep, I think so. I probably won't cut them out at the same time, but they can certainly be on the same piece of paper. And finally, let me set this off to the side. I have my Greenery. I am using Old Olive. wanted to use a different green than I did for my base. Again, that's Pear Pizzazz. My leaves are in Old Olive, as is my sentiment. Now the sentiment I have already cut out. I stamped it in Old Olive, like I said, and I just trimmed around it, and I did that already because you didn't need to watch me fussy cut around that. Okay, let me put that here. We have those two pieces. Let's pull over the little mini cut and emboss machine and get our dies, and we will get started. Oh, let me turn around here and pull this out. I always store on both my big machine and this one, I store it upside down. I think it helps my plates stay flat. So let's start with this. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut this. And then I can put it that way. Here's my die. Gonna put that right on there. Whoops. Sometimes it likes to move a little bit. Let me add a little piece of this tape here. Then I don't have to fight with it. There's that. Okay, this one here, we'll do the can. Where's my can die? It's right here. I tell you, sometimes I find it hard to do this in a sitting position because I don't have it's easier to look down on it, so sometimes I do stand up to do this, even on camera. There we go. There's the watering can. I'm going to trim this piece off of here, and we will cut the flowers off. And then die cut those in. So this is right. This goes right here. Let's kind of feed it through. And there you go. Scraps out of the way, and then there's one more thing. I didn't know if you noticed, there was a piece of vellum. There's a vellum circle there. I've used the layering circles, and I've used the biggest of the non-wavy ones, and we'll cut a piece of vellum. I love vellum. I don't use it enough. And it just barely fits in this little machine. Look at that. There we go. Okay, let me set all of this over to the side. And there we go. Okay, now we're going to put these together. I am going to pull a piece of scrap paper out here. So we're going to glue a little bit on here. First thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to put my piece of vellum. You could use a punch if you still have one of the large Stampin' Up! Punches, like the 2.5-inch circle. You could use that. Vellum, remember, you have to hide your adhesive behind something. So this will be hidden because I'm just putting a line down the center, and it'll be hidden behind my watering can, and I'm placing that center. Because see, now as I've pushed it down, you can see the line So now for this, I don't use all of these tulips. I'm only using this bunch. So I am going to just take my scissors and cut along this edge here. And then that also means I'll be cutting, I only need part of these flowers. And just kind of round that corner off a little bit. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to put this together. I am going to use my Tombow glue. Put it on the paper here and I'm putting just, come on, oops, it's way more than I need, but we're just going to smear it on there. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to blot this over here because I won't need that much glue. And I'm going to glue this right like that. Whenever I use Tombow, I like to use like a piece of paper or something, and if I do get a little too much on there, I will blot it off like that, and then that keeps it from oozing. Now you see these flowers will go right on here. So I'm going to put a little dot of glue on each of the ends of these stems. My die cutting on this piece is a little bit off, but I don't think it makes that big a difference. So we're just going to kind of line these up like that, and there we go. There's that. Yay! We are almost there. Now, I have used dimensionals on the back of this to adhere to this vellum circle, and as you can see, the adhesive is all covered up. So let's see. Let's get some. I'm going to put several dimensionals on here just so that I get some good support. I got a couple half pieces. I'm going to put one over here. I'll put a couple of these up here too on these flowers so that they don't get bent. I think I might put one right here also. There. That way it just, it's less likely that it's all going to get bent like when you send it in the mail or something. Gives it a little extra support. So let me put this on. Get these backs off of here. And we'll put this right on there. Go. Voila. Now all I have to do is put my sentiment on, and that's going to go here. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here, but I'm going to put a dimensional over here so that it lifts it up to the same height or the same thickness as my watering can. I'm going to put a little bit of glue. Let's see where I want my glue at. If this is going to go like this, I'm going to put it here and a little bit right there. There we go. There, then all I need to do is my ribbon. And I'm going to get one of my favorite ribbons out. This is the Crinkled Seam Binding Ribbon. It's white, so it's versatile. You can color it with blends or ink refills or anything like that. So to make my bow, I'm just making, as they say, bunny ears. And tie them together. I like this ribbon because it's, whoops, hold on. Where's my end at? There it is. I almost pulled too far. There we are. Some days I'm better with bows than others, you know? But this This ribbon is great because it doesn't add any bulk to your card. You know, some ribbons are thick and you can't really we can make bows out of them, but then they make your cards thick and you have to have extra postage. I like this because it doesn't do that. I've got some static in my bow. It does in my ribbon, so it wants to cling. I guess that's part of being in the winter time. And so I'm gonna put this bow right on my watering can. And there we go. Live life in full bloom. I like that. So I hope you like this card. Hope this gives you some ideas on how to use this bundle if you have it. And if you don't have it, maybe it's something you decided you want to get. If you do, here's my website. Here's my new host code. You place an order of $50 or more, and I'll send you, using that, you got to use the host code, and I will send you an embellishment for free. I do appreciate your time, and I will see you next Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, for Stamping with Denise. Bye now.